Hey guys, today I want to show you how I'm doing some remixing on my Electribe 2 sampler. I actually prefer to call it mutating tracks because it's not really so much of a remix. But once you have a track established and you want to do different versions of it, it's very easy with the Electribes to just get in there, start tweaking some stuff around, changing some parts, some effects, things like that, and get a whole different sound out of the same track. It's really fun to start doing that. So I'll show you. I have this right now. You can check the full track out on any of these services, iTunes, Amazon. I put a link up for Spotify right here, so that you can check it out on SoundCloud or anywhere you want. But as a demo, that's kind of the meat and potatoes of it. Now, when I do tracks, I usually lay out my patterns and just go through to get a complete song. So I'm going to take one of these that contains basically the meat and potatoes of the song. And I'm going to find a place to put it. So I'm going to write it right there. And I'm just going to start with the first part here, and it has a sound called ploinky. I don't know if that's my own sample or if that's yeah, that's an Electribe sample, and I'm going to give that a listen. That's one of the parts that goes through the whole song. One thing I'll start doing to really mess with the sounds is either I'll crank the pitch all the way up, or in this case, I'll probably take it down. Yeah, I like that down. Alright, the next thing I want to do is just start playing around with the filter. I'm going to leave it on low pass. Bring this down. It's the EG's all the way up, so I'm going to bring it down. Kind of go the opposite direction. See where my resonance is at. Bring that up a little bit. Maybe do some cutoff. Alright. And what I want is a different delay on here. Actually, before I go into that, I'll use my shortcut. I'll change my master effects. Give it a different character. Try. I like hall reverb. It's one of so I like the hall reverb. Let me find a sweet spot for it. Now I want to get the delay on there. Right now it's on a phaser. So I usually like the 1/8 delay. Where's that at? There we go. Okay, I like that sound right there. So what I'll do is I'll go to my next sound. Let's check that out. And that's just a pretty simple saw with one delay and a high pass filter on it. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to start by changing the sound on there, and I'm actually going to use one of my samples. I have some go-tos. These are sounds I like to use a lot, and I'll go with an 80s hit. It's one of my favorite sounds that I've found. And let's see. Another trick I'll do is I'll take that sound and I'll reverse it. Leave the pitch at 0 for this one. Give it some effects. Let's see where I'm at. I think I'll leave it there. Just again play with the filter a little bit. Alright. So let's play around with our AmpEG. Where is this? Let's take it to 111. Take our decay all the way up. I like that right there. So then we'll move on to the next. So let me just bring the volume down just a little bit. Alright, so with this one, I have another sound I like to go to, which is my strike chord. And let's give that a listen. Bring the volume down a little bit. I think I like the pitch here at 0. Might not mess with this too much. Let's bring the resonance down a little bit. Let's see what our effects is. Alright, and from there we've already established a pretty good flow to the track, and I want to bring in the Volca FM. So I like that as a nice kind of ambient sound, like some pads. And just have everything in together. And then what I want to do with my monologue is have another go-to patch. And I'll bring the drums back in. And I'll start playing the monologue with it to see if I can find something I like. So what I noticed when I brought the monologue in, I have a sample right there. I'm going to turn this patch down. And I'm going to see, I might want to actually play with these a little bit too. I have a sample loaded in there. Might play with the pitch and stuff. Let's see. on here, of course. Alright, I like that. Let's see. That, so we'll go back to our monologue. And just start playing some stuff here. I'm not worried about keeping time or anything right now. I'm just trying to find a nice groove. That's pretty much how I'll go about mutating my patches into something completely different. So, you know, this is what you start with. Let's get back there. Something like this. And then pretty quickly we can go from that to something completely alien. So that's just an example of one of the many things you can do with the Korg Electribe. I'm using the sampler so I can load more of my own sounds in there. But this just to give you an example of how quickly you can take a pre-existing song, something you've already worked on, or something if you want to remix someone else's songs, take those parts and just start messing around with different sounds on it, your pitch, reverse, your filter, couple of effects, and you can get a whole different vibe going from that same notation, that same track. So it's a lot of fun to play around with these, especially once you finish some songs and then you take those songs you finished and then you totally mutate those around into something different. So again, just a quick example of some of the capabilities of the Electribes. So keep jamming, everybody.